Hi, this is Khan from Ninja Pulls with a static rotation for Magicka Nightblade. There's a mini guide linked in the description below. Feel free to share it with anyone who might find it useful. Also be sure to check out ninjapulls.com for more DPS rotations and setups. We also list all the changes you need to know about for PvE for every patch, and we're always adding stuff. Pre-buff with Shade, Resolve, Meteor, and Trap. Then you're off. There's no complex pre-buff here, no heroism potions, and nothing that isn't easy, cheap, and realistic to replicate in content. In fact, beating these numbers on the dummy isn't that difficult, but that's not the point. The point of these rotations is to be as reliable and versatile as possible and still pump out decent damage. It's 15 seconds long to match the duration of Stampede and Caltrops, with 3 bow procs per rotation. To make sure you get 3 bow procs every rotation, you need to hit all your light attacks. You build up 4 stacks of Merciless Resolve, then light attack into the bow proc, waiting just a beat for it to register the 5th stack before firing it. The timing can be weird if you're not used to it, but practice it a few times and it starts to click. If you don't like doing it this way, if your weaving is unreliable or you just have really high ping, you can forget it and fire the bow proc every 6 seconds or just whenever it's ready. You'll lose a bit of damage, but nothing drastic. Ult as soon as it's ready, unless you're about to recast your backbar dots. Try to use in-cap only when all dots are rolling, and you can spend the next 5 to 6 seconds hitting spammables and bow procs. Barbed Trap and Dark Shade are not part of the static rotation, which is why they're highlighted in blue along with Carve and in-cap. Just recast these when they're about to run out, except in the 6 seconds following your in-cap. The rest of the time we're just hitting Concealed Weapon and firing bow procs. Concealed Weapon isn't the most amazing spammable out there, but you want it slotted because of the way it now interacts with Twisting Path. If you didn't already know this, Concealed Weapon now grants a 10% damage boost every time we leave Sneak or Invisibility, or when Major Expedition is removed from our character. Since Path applies Major Expedition when you're standing in it, the buff is constantly being removed and reapplied, and this 10% damage boost is up permanently. The buff only lasts 5 seconds, so you lose it if Path is down for 5 seconds, or if you're off the front bar for that long. Other than that, it's pretty easy to keep up. Initially, I thought there was a cooldown on this buff, because that's what it looked like when I tested it on PTS. But it turns out that was just a coincidence, and me giving myself bad testing conditions. There is no cooldown. Execute is unchanged. It actually hits a little harder now, so watch for that 25% threshold, and replace every cast of Concealed Weapon and Assassin's Will with Impale from then on. If your Magicka is getting really tight, you can still fire the bow proc to save resources, as it's cheaper. That's pretty much it. I hope this rotation and video are useful. Static rotations can't deliver quite as much DPS as a fully dynamic rotation, but they're not that far behind, and they're so much easier. It only takes a fraction of the effort. Once you've knocked the dummy over a few times with this rotation, it's kind of in your head, and you might not need to think about it much, so you can pay more attention to your positioning, mechanics, and teammates in content. Also, deviate from the sequence as much as you want. It's supposed to be a foundation, not a straitjacket. But if you're learning to play a new class, or if you're constantly class hopping like I am, or you just want decent damage but don't have time to test everything yourself, and you just want something that you know is going to work in most group content, a static rotation like this is nice to have. Thanks for watching.